Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video from Motors&Me. So, Ford transmissions, or to be precise, today we're going to talk about the the dreaded Ford Powershift transmission. I'm gonna guess around 90% of you who have owned a Ford with an automatic transmission from around 2008 till 2018 know what I'm talking about. Why? Because odds are very good that you have spent at least a couple of thousand euros, pounds, dollars, depends on where you are, on a rebuilt transmission. So in this video, we're gonna talk about a bit of history, symptoms when you know you'll need to dig deep in your wallet, and maintenance, what you could do or could have done to make your Powershift transmission last longer. Right, so around in the year 2000, Ford grouped up with a company named Getrag to create a new transmission that has the economy of a manual transmission and the comfort of an automatic transmission. Well, I guess just listen to this guy explaining.
You'll love the available Powershift 6-speed automatic transmission, a smart and sophisticated solution for changing gears. This technology offers performance, fuel efficiency, and driving attributes similar to a manual transmission with the shift quality and ease of operation provided by an automatic.
This sounds great, right? And yes, it actually was. At first, Ford actually delivered on its promises and received a lot of praise from its customers. But that was short-lived. It didn't take long for the first unsatisfied customers to emerge. But it wasn't just Ford, because Volvo also used the Powershift transmission in some of its models. But thankfully, they quickly realized the potential of the transmission and dropped it just a few years after. But Ford, oh no, Ford kept marching on with the Powershift strapped to their backs, trying to save it. Actually, they did very little in improving the transmission. In fact, they denied having issues with it. Not only to their customers, but also to their own employees. But one might think that, well, if the transmission failed early on, well, have just fixed it under warranty, right? Well, yeah, but there's a problem with that. You would think that they would fix the issue never to return again, but no. They would just replace whatever was broken, or in the worst case give you a new transmission, but it wouldn't take long for the problem to reappear and you would be stranded again. Obviously, it didn't take long before the first lawsuits of many were filed against Ford, alleging that Ford, even though they knew about these issues, they continued to sell cars with faulty transmissions. In fact, Ford mechanics started speaking out against Ford, calling the Powershift a mechanical catastrophe. But what was the Powershift transmission and what exactly went wrong with it? Well, on a conventional transmission, automatic, you would have planetary gears and a torque converter to transmit power to the wheels. But this transmission uses a dry dual clutch setup, which is basically two manual transmissions in a single unit, with one clutch driving odd number gears like 1, 3, and 5, and the other driving even number gears like 2, 4, and 6. It works by preemptively engaging the next gear's clutch while disengaging the previous one. This results in practically seamless gear changes, in theory.
When accelerating from a stop, the engine speed rises as the clutch engages, exactly as you would expect when shifting a manual transmission into gear. Although subtle, some may notice slight mechanical shifting noises. This is normal.
Ooh boy. Well, that aged like a glass of milk in the Sahara Desert. Probably the main problem with the Powershift transmission was that it was a dry clutch setup. Cooling was a big issue, which resulted in shuddering, slipping, and eventually clutch failure. Replacing the clutch or clutches might have solved the issue, but it wouldn't take long before those problems would just reappear. the transmission's control software was also a big source of problems. Many owners reported having issues with the shifting logic, leading to weird behavior or inconsistent performance, like for instance, loss of power during acceleration. Now, Ford did release several software updates to solve these issues, but they were only temporary fixes or introduced new problems. If you own a Ford with a Powershift transmission, you might be feeling a little depressed after hearing this. And I'm not blaming you, because it is as bad as it sounds like. Not too long before I bought my Mark V Mondeo, my mechanic told me, please, stay away from the automatic. But not all is bad, because there is one thing that has proven to be somewhat effective in increasing the life of the transmission, and that is regular maintenance. A friend of mine who owns an S-Max with the Powershift transmission replaces the transmission fluid every 10 till 15,000 kilometers, and so far he hasn't had any issues. It's not a guaranteed fix, but according to reviews, it does improve the lifespan of the transmission, so why not? I hope Ford has learned from their past mistakes and won't screw up as they did with the Powershift transmission. Although, I have a feeling that they sort of have. Maybe not as much, but I guess that's stuff for a different video. If you're watching this video, odds are very good that you own a Ford with a Powershift transmission. In the comment section below, share your story with it. Maybe you have some tips for the fellow Ford owners here. Anyways, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you for watching and see you in my next videos. Bye bye.